More and more lately, I've been hearing the word veteran applied to me. And while it probably is a nice way to say I'm getting older, I always take it to mean that I've gone through a lot. And being at this age means that I've seen what has happened here in Israel over the past 50 years. I was here as a student back in 1966, and my wife and I came in Aliyah in 1970. And it's just amazing how much an experience, up and down, emotional, psychological, physical, but much more important, fulfilling experience has been to see what has been happening. What has happened has been the fact that everything that I was taught as a youth many years ago is happening. They warned us that the demographics of Judea and Samaria and previously Gaza would not allow us to hold on to these territories. They warned us that the diplomatic disasters would be forthcoming because we could not convince the nations of the world to be on our side as much as we'd like them to be. We were told that immigration to Israel, Aliyah, would not be able to offset what was going on. All the black prophecies are non-existent. We have now hundreds of thousands of Jews living in Judea and Samaria beyond the Green Line. We have established industry. We have established social welfare. We have institutions. We have agriculture. We have everything possible to show that we are actually a true living people in our natural and national homeland. We could not do this if we did not believe in ourselves. If we did not believe that what was meant to be should be. And we have taken the lead and we have done that. We have marched before the camp. On the other hand, being a student of history, I can tell that what we are going through, the fears that we have that our message is not getting across enough, is not getting to the deeper elements of what is really happening, is not reaching out to many other populations and demographics. From my experience in learning, nothing today is different in essence than at any other time in Jewish history. It may be more qualitative, more quantitative, but in terms of are we experiencing this now worse or this is new for us, is simply not true. And we need to do more to make sure that it doesn't overwhelm us. The anti-Semitism, the anti-Zionism, the lack of education among Jewish children, Arab propaganda activity on campuses, BDS. It was the Mufti back in the 1920s who started this off. And officially, the Arab League in 1945 declared a boycott of Israel. Nothing is new. We cannot allow ourselves to think that when we wake up in the morning and we read a headline or we hear something over the radio and watch it on television, that this is yet another blow, another knock at our ability to stand up strong and overcome what is going on. Everything that I have been doing over the past several decades, I have tried to be attuned to what is happening, deal with it as the best I can, but also to know that this has been done somewhere, sometime already. And if I don't learn from past mistakes, either mine or others, we will not be able to overcome this. So being a veteran means having the experience, means having the ability to say, I've been there. If I can impart that to a younger generation, if we can better improve our own training sessions for what we think is right, what we think is correct, where we want the message to get out, to refine things, and to learn new tricks. Social media didn't exist a decade ago. We spend time tweeting, uploading posts on Facebook, dealing with comments on various newspapers. We can make our presence felt very, very well all over the place, as I do sitting at home in Shiloh on a computer, talking to people in Michigan, talking to people in China, talking to people in Europe. Talking in a sense of writing comments or dealing with them, or even contributing to their ability. How can I do better on my college campus? How can I do better in my neighborhood? What is going on? One thing I find that could be improved is something that I'd like to call the 4C construct. Being Jews, everybody has an opinion. You have an opinion, you are going then to set up an organization or a framework to get that opinion moving. And so we have many organizations and many groups, and many of them, too many of them, doing the same thing in the same general area. We're not going to overcome that. But what we can do is, first of all, the first C, communicate. Reach out to other people. Establish relationships. Make sure that you are able to hear from them, they are able to hear from you. Exchange views. Someone wants to put up a hashtag, ask for other people's advice. Take in suggestions. Be open. The second C I'd like to suggest is to coordinate. You don't have to be in the same organization to set up a seminar, a tour, an event, a conference, something else that's going on, and invite other people to come along. Let them know. Coordinate with them. Have them be able to come in and join you, even if it's not your organization, their organization, exactly their idea of what's going on. Be open, inclusive as much as possible. You never know what you're going to pick up. And if everything goes well, the third C will slip in, and that is cooperate. He's not doing 100% what you're doing. She's not with you 100%. Take 50%. Take 30%. Cooperate one with another. No one can do everything. And if everybody does everything, there's nothing else to be done. And then, after those 3 C's are in place, they are working, things are moving along, you will find that the 4th C, concentrate all the power that you would then have after all the first 3 C's and make sure the job gets done. Concentrate the best speakers, concentrate the best money, concentrate the best place, concentrate the best idea to overcome the problem, the obstacle, or just simply to make sure the project that you're on gets done best. 4 C's, and you will see success. 4 C's, and you will see that something will get done. And you will feel better doing it, and the job is much better. The element of doing the job is not to feel it's a job. It's to feel a purpose of life. It's to feel you're doing something not only for yourself, but much more for your friends, your family, your community, the ideal that you have committed yourself to. I think I have committed myself, as I've said many times to people who have heard me, not to be the weakest link in the chain of Jewish history. We started off 3,000 years previously. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. We're moving off to something else in the future. There's a chain there. We cannot allow the chain to be broken. And if you're in, then you have to make sure that link, who is you, is the strongest. If that is true, if you have succeeded, if you've tried to do the job, if you need more speakers, train them. If they're trained, make sure they come back to you and say, I didn't do a good enough job. Can you give me something else as a piece of advice to do. Looking out for groups, other places where the message hasn't gotten to. There is nothing you cannot do. Public diplomacy, hasbara, being interviewed on behalf of Jews living in Judea and Samaria is something that is right. It's the right thing to do because you're serving a right cause, and it'll make you feel, which is also important, that you are right. If you put all these things together, you will be motivated. If you put all these things together, you will get the job done, even though someone to your left and someone to your right is not exactly with you. Or maybe he's against you. But if you gather all these things together, if you read, if you study, if you listen to your friends, if you talk things over, if on the way to an interview you call someone else and say, listen, how does this sound bite work? Don't be embarrassed to say that you're asking for help. Because whatever is out there, it's not only affecting you personally, it's affecting all of us. Whether it's the communities in Judea and Samaria, whether it's Israel as a whole, whether it's the Jewish people with this more recent onslaught of an invidious type of anti-Semitism now. Everything that we have tried to do here in Israel up until 48, until 67, and since 1967, especially in Judea and Samaria, has been not out of any bad motivation. It's been the most just and right thing to do and to accomplish. Health services for others, scientific accomplishments for others, social welfare achievements for others. We are there. We have nothing to be ashamed of in anything that we have done, even if sometimes the wrong things are being done. At the present moment that I'm speaking, we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 600,000 persons beyond the former Green Line. Out of such a large number, not everybody is the most righteous person to be expected to be. But think, if 70% of those 600,000 people were trying to help, were trying to be of assistance one to another in the message getting out, in being linked up with a spokesperson for a regional council, in supplying them with information. No one can know everything. If everybody is working together, if you take those 4 C's, you're going to find out you're going to be very, very powerful. So realizing that we've come a long way, I can tell you that personally. From where I have been, from what I have experienced, from what I have seen, everything is okay. Can we improve? We can. There are many other things to be done. There are several ways we can do that. I've tried to explain from my life experience 1 or 2 of the ways we can do that. There are many more. I recently went over a sheet of paper that I got up in 1983. My math is bad, so I don't know how many years ago, but it was a long time ago. There are many things there that we did, many things that we still have to do. I don't think I was very far off target in trying to define what the work is that has to be done, needs to be done in order to make sure that the Jewish people, which has a legal, historical, religious, just right to be in its national homeland, continues to live safe, secure, not only because of an historical right, but history is yet to be done. We have a right to make sure that the future history is being done. So if that is in your mind, if you can conceive of that purpose, of that type of framework, many more people can join in and help out and assist to make sure that our lives are better. And if our lives are better and more safe and more secure, all people's lives are better, even those who wish us harm. So with that message, from my life experience as a veteran, I leave you.